and their guests.
From the 436 Civil Engineer Squadron, James Blake.
Present.
From the 436 Aerial Port Squadron, Justin Boynton.
From the 436 Maintenance Squadron, Teresa Buck.
From the 736 Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, Harvey Crouch.
From the 436 Security Forces Squadron, Stephen Daniel.
From the 436 Operations Support Squadron, Andrew Diamond.
From the 436 Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, Evan Frock.
From the 436 Maintenance Squadron, James Verse.
From the 436 Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, David Harper.
From the 436 Maintenance Squadron, Justin Hemsworth.
From the 436 Civil Engineer Squadron, Jared Jensen.
From the 736 Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, Luke Jones.
From the 436 Security Forces Squadron, Michael Lawrence.
From the 436 Force Support Squadron, Emmanuel Lockhart.
From the 436 Security Forces Squadron, James Marks.
From the 436 Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, Brian Mackleson.
From the 436 Operations Support Squadron, Jason M.J. Medina.
From the 436 Airlift Wing, Omar Mickens.
Squadron, Scott Morissette.
Present. Let's go, Twin.
From the 436 Healthcare Operations Squadron, Younger Raleigh Barrett.
From the 436 Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, Julian Siapno.
From the 436 Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, Robert Wallace.
Let's go, Bobby.
From the 436 Maintenance Squadron, Matthew Walker.
Present.
From the 436 Operations Medical Squadron, James Warren.
From the 9th Airlift Squadron, Monty West.
From the 436 Logistics Wilkinson.
From the 436 Maintenance Squadron, Joshua Wills.
From the 436 Operations Group, Robert Wink.
From Air Force Mortuary Affairs Operation, Kayla Comanche.
From the 166 Airlift Wing, Christopher Panico.
From the Air Force ROTC, Detachment 720, Samantha Simons.
From the 373rd Training Squadron, Andrew McKinney.
And from the 373rd Training Squadron, William Robbins.
Hold up. Up. Ready? Fix.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the singing of the national anthem by Senior Airman Destiny Mears, presentation of the colors, followed by the invocation by Chaplain Volkovitz.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rattling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please join me in a prayer before the come. O Lord our God, we gather this evening to induct our newest senior non-commissioned officers, to thank you for opportunities for leadership and to enjoy a great deal. We also thank you for the mentors and people who believe in our honoring, to challenge them to be who they are today. For the people we honor this night are the backbone of our effort. Please make their decisions timely, their enthusiasm contagious, and may we rededicate ourselves to the challenges you place before us. Give us all who gather here today the strength and the courage to lead and serve. Please bless the leadership for the 436 Airlift Wing. Grant our leaders an extra measure of wisdom and of creativity in facing the challenges that lie ahead and accomplishing the mission tomorrow home. And now, Lord, we ask your blessing on our lives to nourish our bodies and on our time together. May it nourish our hearts. We pray in your holy name.
Thank you, Senior Airman Mears and Chaplain Volkovitz.
Please be seated. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Senior Non-Commissioned Officer Induction Ceremony for 2021. I am Master Sergeant Lindsay Pace from the 436 Operations Support Squadron.
And I am Master Sergeant Aaron S. Stamp from the 512 Airlift.
Before we begin tonight's ceremony, we would like to introduce our distinguished guests, beginning with the head table.
The Commander, 436 Airlift Wing, Colonel Matthew Houston.
The Comanche, 436 Airlift Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Timothy Bays.
Standing in for the Commander of Air Force Mortuary Affairs Operation, Captain Ashlyn Diaz.
Representing the 436 Operations Group, Lieutenant Colonel Stephen Hawkins.
That's my neighbor.
That's my boss.
The Commander, 436 Mission Support Group, Colonel Newman Williams II, and his spouse Lily.
The Commander, 436 Maintenance Group, Colonel Barry Flack and his wife Tina.
The Commander, 436 Medical Group, Colonel Tracy Allen.
The Commander, 166 Medical Group, Colonel Gwynn Harris Atwell.
The Wing Chaplain, Lieutenant Colonel Abner Valenzuela.
Finally, we welcome commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, and members of Team Dover who have taken time out of their day to share in this special occasion.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the left of the stage as we perform the SNCO MIU. Ladies and gentlemen, as you enter the dining area, you may have noticed a table to the left of the stage. It is reserved to honor our missing comrades in the house.
The empty place represents Americans still missing from each of the 5 services and civilians. This ceremony symbolizes that they are here with us in spirit.
Some here in this room are very young when they went into combat. However, all Americans should never forget the brave men and women who answered our nation's call and served the cause of freedom in a special way. We would like to explain the meaning of the items on this special table.
The table is round to show our everlasting concern for our missing men and women.
The tablecloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their motives when answering the call of duty.
The single red rose displayed in the vase reminds us of their life and the loved ones and friends of these Americans who keep the faith awaiting answers.
The vase is tied with a red ribbon, symbol of our continued determination to account for our missing.
A slice of lemon is on the bread plate. This is to remind us of the bitter fate of those captured and missing in a foreign land.
A pinch of salt symbolizes the tears endured by those missing and their families who seek answers.
The glass is inverted to symbolize our inability to share this evening's toast.
The chair is empty. They are missing.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand, and if you have not yet done so, please charge your glasses with water.
Tonight's toast is silent and made with water, as our comrades did not have the luxury of wine.
Let us now raise our water glasses in toast to honor America's POW MIAs and to the success of our efforts to account for them.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Our inductees have spent the last 4.5 days in Dover's senior NCO professional development course taught by leaders throughout the week.
This course is designed to give them information that will ease the transition from expert technicians and first-line supervisors to leaders with broader operational leadership, supervisory, and managerial responsibilities. Tonight is the capstone event of the seminar where we will ceremoniously induct them into the senior NCO board.
It is now time to enjoy the plated meal that the landing staff has prepared for us. The self-serve cake station will also be available near the bar in the flag room. Please feel free to make your way over there at your leisure.
Ladies and gentlemen, dinner is served. Promotion to the top tier of the enlisted force is a milestone event in an airman's career. First, the records were reviewed by a board comprised of senior leaders who analyze their overall competence of the duties and airmanship to determine their eligibility into the prestigious rank of master sergeant. This achievement required dedication and sacrifice not only from the members, but their family, supervisors, and commanders.
Please join us in a round of applause for those that have come to celebrate with our inductees tonight. Inductees, we have invited some of your airmen, NCOs, and fellow senior NCOs to come give you some expectations as you transition to the next level of leadership.
Good evening and welcome. My name is Airman First Class Meese from the 436 Operations Support Squadron, and I'm extremely honored to be here today. I have been given the wonderful opportunity to congratulate all of our incredible new senior non-commissioned officers. All of you accomplished ladies and gentlemen were here at my shoes at one point in time, with bright-eyed, bushy-tailed agency figuring out how to make it in this Air Force. I encourage you to think back and remind yourselves of the leadership and guidance that you were seeking for yourself in your own career. Hold on to those memories and use them to become the leader that you needed as an airman. With this new position comes the opportunity to shape the future of the Air Force. Share your knowledge and we will become knowledgeable. Show humility and create humble airmen in turn. Take charge from the front and lead by example. Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force Staff recently shared a quote that states, "Treat airmen like they make a difference, and they will." Put your trust and invest your time into building your legacy, a legacy that begins with your vision, put into place by your NCOs and executed by your airmen. We come from all walks of life and have infinite wealth of experiences. Be open to what you may not know, and remain open to who may be able to teach you something new. These few strikes may just surprise you. Times are constantly changing. We are an ever-growing force, and no one is exempt from adapting. Constructive criticism is a two-way street and goes hand in hand with this adaptation. Guide your airmen. Hold them firm to the standards of your work centers and the Air Force, and hold them accountable. But remember that there is always room for growth on both ends. This is not where your journey begins to close, but where a brand new opportunity is born. When I think of the exemplary senior NCOs I have already encountered in my short career, I think of the ones that have gone up to bat. I think of the Master Sergeants who fight tooth and nail to ensure that I am safe, to ensure I am being validated, and to show that I am seen and appreciated. These are the leaders that I will remember for the rest of my life who have had a lasting impact on myself as an airman. There are plenty more out there, in addition to myself, waiting for you to take them under your wings to ensure they are safe, validated, and appreciated. I have full faith that everyone sitting here today will be an incredible addition to this new tier of leadership. Congratulations to you all.
Good evening. Sleep. Come on, man. Good evening.
Got you.
I'm Technical Sergeant Corey Noel from 436 Area Report Squadron. I would like to congratulate all of our Air Force's newest senior non-commissioned officers, and thank you for the opportunity to celebrate one of the Air Force's most time-honored traditions and your accomplishments with you tonight. As a senior NCO, you're heavily relied upon by our top Air Force leaders and airmen to epitomize excellence, professionalism, pride, and competence, serving as a role model for our airmen to emulate. As an NCO, my expectations of a senior NCO is what I refer to as ARM. The A stands for accountability. It is extremely important for you to hold my peers and be accountable for our actions, not enforcing standards and lack of development of our area. We cannot be effective if we don't hold people accountable for the things they're obligated to do. In the same breath, you must hold yourselves accountable as well for where you may fall short to reinforcing leading by example. The R stands for resilience. This version is a little bit unorthodox compared to the standard version that we know. Senior leaders are regularly responsible for many suspenses, administrative tasks, which can bring on significant amounts of stress. You must remember to exercise self-care. The use of self-care techniques will help you bounce back from stressful events and situations you may be faced with. Remember to take time for yourselves and your families as well, so that when you're faced with high stress, you can recharge, refocus, and renew your energy to power through and take care of your team and accomplish the mission, because you cannot be effective to me or my peers if you burn yourselves out. The M stands for motivated. A few of y'all know me, I'm pretty motivated. And a lot of you guys are too. So your energy will introduce you before anything else does. Therefore, always show up motivated so that your team members can feed off of your energy. In addition to your own motivation, remember to be an adaptive leader. Each one of your teammates has their own goals and are motivated by different things. Continue to thrive on what motivates your airmen, and your team will accomplish more than anything that you've ever thought possible. Always listen, empower, respect, correct if necessary, be supportive, and be genuine in your approach to your team members, and they will work as hard as they can for you. Thank you for allowing me to share my perspective on what an NCO needs from a senior NCO. Congratulations, and always remember to be armed up as you start each new day.
Good evening. I'm Master Sergeant Hortensia Ramon from the 436 Operational Medical Readiness Squadron. Congratulations on your selection to the Senior NCO tier. Tonight you are surrounded by loved ones, leaders, and mentors. Be proud of your amazing accomplishment. Celebrate. And then, just get to work. You will now be looked at for guidance or answers when challenges arise. The amount of airmen you will lead, supervise, and care for has now expanded. The best advice I was given was to take care of people, up, down, and across the chain, because people matter most. Along with the perks of earning rank comes lots of responsibility and sacrifice, which is why Tech Sergeant Noel spoke about taking care of yourself, because more will be asked of you. You are now expected to network, to find solutions outside of your organization, to complete the mission at hand. Stand up and be the voice of those who trust you. Be inclusive of all airmen and get to know them. Delegate simpler tasks so that you can focus on the big rocks. Support the decisions of your leaders even after you're given your two bucks. Listen a little more than you speak, so that when you speak, you can be well informed. Celebrate every little accomplishment. Celebrate every little win, and let people know when they're doing amazing. It's important. Keep a positive mindset. A positive mindset leads to positive habits. Positive habits lead to positive outcomes. The decisions you will make now may or may not come easy, but I challenge you to keep the momentum and show up, especially when times get hard, because I guarantee you that when times are hard for you, it can definitely also be hard for those who lead. Think of the senior NCOs you have met that have made a positive impact in your life. Now you get to be that person for someone. Today, you step into the unknown. This for you could be exciting or completely nerve-wracking. The important thing here is that you are not alone. Every senior NCO you meet is just a text or a phone call away, always willing to give a helping hand, a word of advice, or a listening ear. You will now be looked at for guidance or answers, so stay ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give our airmen, NCO, and senior NCO representatives a round of applause for coming to
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time it is with great pleasure that I introduce our guest speaker for tonight's ceremony, Chief Master Sergeant Timothy Bays.
Chief Bays is a Command Chief, 436 Airlift Wing, Dover Air Force Base, Delaware. He serves as a principal advisor to the commander on matters of welfare, readiness, morale, and effective deployment of more than 2,800 enlisted members of the combined C-5 and C-17 wing, providing worldwide movement of high-priority personnel and cargo. Dover Air Force Base is home to Air Force Mortuary Affairs Operations, the Department of Defense's largest aerial port and air mobility museum.
Thanks for that introduction. Hey, first of all, I just want to say thanks to the team that put this together. Right, that national anthem was amazing. This doesn't come together by itself, so thank you to everybody that put this together so that we can come celebrate tonight with our families and friends and socialize and interact with each other. This is a great event, so I really appreciate it. Let's give them a round of applause. All right, so I'm going to need y'all's help real quick on one thing. So I need everybody here to just stand up for a minute. We're going to do a little exercise into the stage. All right, now I need about half of you in the room. Can you hear me better? So I need about half of you in the room to put your hands about 12 inches apart. The other half of you to put them about 6 inches apart, or not half, and then some of you to put your hands all the way together. Now just bear with me. All right, y'all can have a seat. Thank you, appreciate that. Hey, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell them either I gave a great speech and y'all stood up, which they probably won't believe, or I'm going to tell them that I told y'all the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl this year, and you were so excited that you stood up and clapped, right? So you got, come on. All right. Hey, seriously, so Colonel Huthman, other commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, thank y'all for being in attendance, but most importantly, the folks that were here to celebrate tonight, the families, the friends, the supervisors, thank you for coming out. This is a great event. I love seeing everybody together. I'm glad we could do this. Dover really is a family. We're all together right now. And I feel so comfortable just being with all of you. I've only been here 60 days, and that says a lot for this community and who we are. So I'm not going to talk a lot about leadership lessons because this group of individuals has been talked at for the last 4.5 days. They've had PowerPoint slides. We've talked about leadership. But I'm going to cover just a couple things that I spoke with them about. And then I had an opportunity to ask some questions to everybody in the class and get their feedback and see their answers. And I'll tell you, when I went home and I was in the evening and I'm reading through their responses and their answers, I was feeling extremely motivated. Because the stuff that this team is doing, that these future NCOs are doing, is amazing, right? They're gonna lead our Air Force into the future when a lot of us in this room are going to retire and check out. So really motivating. So I'm going to share with you some of their responses and thoughts, and then I'll get off the stage and get out of the way. But what I talked to them about, and I want you to listen for this when I read their responses and see how this ties into the things that they're doing. So I talked a little bit about, as a leader, you have to be credible. You have to follow through when you say you're going to do something, right? You have to build that credibility and that trust with your airmen. And they're already doing that. But it's something that always has to be thought about, because if we say we're going to do something, we get busy, and the more responsibility you have, who much is given, much is required, right? So the more responsibility you have, things start to take over, and sometimes we let things fall off our plate and we can't do that. So you have to build that credibility. I talked to them a little bit about connectedness. We have to connect with our airmen. But it's not just connecting with them, you have to listen. And so as we connect with our airmen, but don't forget about connecting with your families Right? Don't forget about the need to connect our folks with the mission so they understand what they're doing and they have that buy-in and that tie. So we talked about that connectedness piece. And the last thing I talked to them about was you have to care. If we don't show that we care, people are not going to want to come see us, right? They're not going to want to come talk to you when they have that problem or something that they really need to share with you. And so as leaders, you have to do those things. There's a bunch of other things, and you can tie a lot of leadership lessons into those 3 C's. But that's what I talked to them about. And then when I read through their responses, like I was literally sitting on my couch, and I was reading one of the responses, like, man, that's awesome. And my son's like, are you watching football? No, I'm not, right? I'm reading a spreadsheet with people's responses on it. But it impressed me that much. So I am going to read some of these just because I want to share them with you and I don't want to mess them up. So, one of the questions that we got asked was, what do you consider your best accomplishment so far, both personally and professionally? This is an opportunity for you all to get to know these folks in the crowd. And I'm not reading all the responses, but some of them were, making my family proud and being the best role model I can be. That's awesome, right? So, my greatest personal accomplishment has been being a father to our 2 boys. When we talk about connectedness and caring, we're connected with our family. So personally, I have a wonderful home, an amazing wife, and 2 beautiful daughters. I want to be a better father and a better husband. Personally, I have a wonderful family that is very supportive in everything I do. By far, my relationship with my wife and our ability to mold our children into wonderful kids is my greatest accomplishment. We talk about that family and how important it is. And I want to share that with you that all these leaders have families, right? And they're going to take on more responsibility, but they're connected. We've got to maintain that. And then another one, mentoring folks, setting multiple up to be clear choices for a higher promotion endorsement and a well-rounded airman. That's that connectedness with our folks and that mentorship that leads them into the future. It's amazing. So I asked them, I said, how do you feel when you learn, how did you feel when you learned that you were part of the senior NCOs here? And some of these are kind of funny. So the first one, that I'm going to finally get paid for something that I've been doing for years now. We all know, as soon as you found out you made master, we're like, hey, go pay your top 3 dues. Right? Oh, hey, we need a new president, you're going to run it. You're like, I don't even have the strike on yet. Yeah, we're mentoring you. It's fine. We're going to develop you. Right? So, these folks are already doing it. So, but some of these things, they had a great feeling of accomplishment. I was so happy, I literally had tears of joy rolling down my face. This is the passion that our folks have about being senior NCOs in the United States Air Force, and we need to celebrate that. So, having all of us here today to do that is amazing. I feel excited and nervous at the same time. Trust me, we all get nervous, and that's okay. I felt really humble and excited and a little relieved. The pay raise is also going to be nice. So I see the money's a motivation here, right? But those are some things that motivate our folks. And then this one is where we really get into those 3 C's. So what motivates you to become not just a great leader, but an inspirational leader? And these are the responses. To leave behind a legacy of motivated airmen, better now than when they started, and hopefully at least one of them remembers me as one of their mentors. That's amazing, right? Think about that. We have people out there that want to lead these folks and leave their legacy behind as senior NCOs. That's amazing. What motivates me most is to see airmen succeeding and doing well both personally and professionally. That's that connectedness. We got to know who they are as an individual, and then we got to help them in their career. I honestly just want to be the kind of person that people know they can trust, confide in when it comes to anything. That's that caring piece. Showing folks that we care about them so they come talk to us when we need them. My motivation is to excel as a leader, is to build a core of airmen who are capable of leading the Air Force forward through realistic, attainable, and sensible decisions. Right? That's connecting them to the mission, the future fight, developing our folks. So these are some amazing things. And then one more that I want to read, and then I'll give you one little note. I'll get off the stage so we can press on here. But this last one, I am motivated by the prospect of helping others grow into leaders and to help others become successful in whatever avenue it is they choose as a priority. Everyone is different, so being able to play a small role in other individuals' adventures is inspiring and motivation. Right? And so, we talk about inspiring people, motivating them, leading them, those 3 C's. All of that ties into this. And these folks in the room, the ones that came in here and had us talk at them for the last 4 days, they're already doing that. And so, my hat's off to you all. You are doing it, you're leading. There's a reason you got selected for what you're, for the next rank. And I'm excited and motivated to be with you. But that last one talked about having a small impact. And so I just want to share a little story real quick that kind of illustrates, your impact whether it's small, whether it's big, whether you're impacting one airman, it doesn't matter. So some of you may have heard this before, but there's a starfish poem that's out there. It talks about this old man that's walking along the beach. And he sees this kid, and he's down the beach, and high tides come in and left, and there's a bunch of starfish laying all over the beach. And he sees this kid out there, and he's picking up the starfish one by one and kind of throwing them back in the ocean. And the old man walks up to him and he says, "Hey, what are you doing? Look around the beach, there's thousands of them out there. You're not going to be able to make a difference." And the kid's a little bit puzzled, and he looks up at him, and then he reaches down and he grabs one starfish and he throws it back in the ocean, and he says, "Well, I made a difference to that one." Right? So you make a difference to one airman, and that's going to spread. The old man started picking up the other starfish, and the two of them started throwing them back in. And now they're making a difference for 2, 4, 6. So when we show that we care, we show that we're connecting with our airmen, and we're credible leaders, making an impact whether it's on one airman or 10 airmen, doesn't matter. And so I'm excited for you. I'm motivated. Reading your comments motivated me, and I am happy and proud to be part of this team. And like I said, I don't want to stand up here forever and talk. I don't want to do another leadership lesson, so I'm going to get out of the way. But, I really want to just take a minute and tell you all thank you. I'm excited for this team. Thank you all for being here tonight. And let's get this over with and get everybody out of here.
Thank you, Chief Bates, for those wise words. Inductees, you have been given a lot of advice, mentorship, and guidance tonight. Are you ready to accept the challenges of being a senior non-commissioned officer?
Yes. We would like to invite the families and friends of our inductees to come forward and take photographs during the presentation.
Colonel Houston and Chief Bates, would you please come on stage to present them? From the 436th Civil Engineer Squadron, James Blake.
Engineers, lead the way!
From the 436th Aerial Port Squadron, Justin Boynton.
From the 436th Maintenance Squadron, Teresa Buck.
From the 736th Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, Harvey Crouch.
From the 436th Security Forces Squadron, Stephen Daniel.
From the 436th Operations Support Squadron, Andrew Diamond.
From the 436 Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, Evan Fromm.
From the 436 Maintenance Squadron, James Burst.
From the 436 Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, David Harper.
From the 436 Maintenance Squadron, Justin Hemsworth. From the 436 Civil Engineer Squadron, Jared Jensen.
From the 736 Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, Luke Jones.
From the 436 Security Forces Squadron, Michael Lawrence.
From the 436 Force Support Squadron, Emmanuel Lockhart.
From the 436 Security Forces Squadron, James Marks.
From the 436 Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, Brian Matheson.
From the 436 Operations Support Squadron, Jason Medina.
From the 436 Airlift Wing, Omar Mickens.
From the 436 Civil Engineer Squadron, Scott Morissette.
From the 436 Healthcare Operations Squadron, Bianca Raleigh.
From the 436 Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, Julian Siapno.
Aircraft Maintenance Squadron, Robert Wallace.
From the 436 Maintenance Squadron, Matthew Walter.
From the 436 Operations Medical Squadron, James Warren.
From the 9th Airlift Squadron, Monty West.
From the 436 Logistics Readiness Squadron, Heather Wilkinson.
From the 436 Maintenance Squadron, Joshua Will.
He made technical.
From the 436 Operations Group, Robert Wayne.
From the Air Force ROTC Deck 720, Samantha Simon.
Why is it 3?
From the 373rd Training Squadron, Andrew McKinney.
From the 373rd Training Squadron, William Robbins.
At this time, we would like to invite Senior Master Sergeant Shante Sims and Captain Ashlyn Diaz to present Air Force Mortuary Affairs Operations inductees with their mementos.
From the Air Force Mortuary Affairs Operation, Kayla Himesh.
The 166 Airlift Wing inductees with their mementos.
From the 166 Airlift Wing, Christopher Panico.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you the newest members of the Dover Air Force Base.
Inductees, please be seated. Thank you, Colonel Houston, Chief Bates, Senior Master Sergeant Sims, and Captain Diaz.
At this time, Colonel Houston will present closing remarks. Here to the stage, George.
Hey, good evening, Dover. So tonight you heard from an airman, an NCO, a senior NCO that gave you an amazing charge, and then you got to hear from a chief. And I think it was all encompassed in what this young lady up here just did while you all were clapping and she was dancing. And why? Because that's what you guys are doing each and every time now, is you are congratulations on a huge accomplishment. You should all be dancing with joy, just like this young lady was, because it's awesome to stand up here and see what it is that we have in front of us. And you heard it from those 4 speakers of what you've got to go out and do. And why is it that we're the most feared Air Force in the world? It's not because we have the smartest officers. It's because we have the best senior NCOs in the world. So remember that, because the legacy that you leave behind is going to be seen in those eyes of every airman that you get to touch. Whether it's 1 or 100,000. Please continue to throw those starfish back in the ocean, all right? Because we need every airman to go out and take care of business each and every day. Whether that's putting your arm around them, holding them accountable, make sure they're empowered. Because that's how we're going to continue to win our nation's wars and make sure that we protect freedom all across the world. All right? You guys enjoy tonight. Have a party. See y'all later.
Thank you, Colonel Houston. Inductees, please come forward. Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to please stand as the inductees lead us in the scene of the All right, are we ready? 1, 2, 3. Off we go! Induction ceremony. Please come forward to congratulate Dover's newest senior non-commissioned officers. Thank you for your attendance and please have a pleasant night.